For decades, the cross-border flow of tourists between Canada and the United States has been a significant aspect of the economic and social fabric of both nations. The allure of American cities, diverse landscapes, entertainment options, and shopping destinations has long drawn millions of Canadians south. Similarly, the natural beauty and cultural richness of Canada have attracted numerous American visitors north. However, a confluence of evolving factors suggests a potential paradigm shift, where a growing number of Canadians might be reconsidering their travel plans to the United States, leading to a significant decline in cross-border tourism. This article delves into 8 key reasons that could be contributing to this hypothetical trend. 1. The shifting sands of political climate and societal values. The political landscape in the United States has undergone significant transformations in recent years, marked by increasing polarization and shifts in social values that may not align with the prevailing sentiments in Canada. Canadians generally hold more liberal and progressive views on a range of issues, including healthcare, social safety nets, environmental protection, and gun control. The heightened political divisiveness and the rise of certain ideologies in the US can create a sense of unease and discomfort for Canadian travelers. Consider the impact of policy changes or public discourse on issues like abortion rights, LGBTQ+ rights, or racial equality. Such developments can lead Canadians to perceive the US as a less welcoming or inclusive destination. The frequent news cycles highlighting political gridlock, social unrest, and ideological clashes might deter Canadians who prioritize a sense of stability and shared values in their travel experiences. Furthermore, the perception of safety and security can be influenced by the political climate. Events such as mass shootings, which are more frequent in the US than in Canada, coupled with debates around gun control, can understandably make some Canadians hesitant to travel south. The perception of a society grappling with deep-seated social and political issues can overshadow the traditional attractions of American travel. Moreover, the rhetoric emanating from certain political factions in the US, particularly regarding immigration and border security, can inadvertently create a less welcoming atmosphere for international visitors, including Canadians. Even though Canadians generally face fewer hurdles at the border than travelers from other nations, the overall tone and narrative surrounding immigration can contribute to a feeling of being less welcome. 2. The ascent of domestic tourism and exploration. Canada itself boasts a vast and diverse array of landscapes, cultures, and experiences that are increasingly being discovered and appreciated by Canadians. From the rugged coastlines of the Maritimes to the majestic Rocky Mountains, the prairies, the Great Lakes, and the vibrant cities, Canada offers a wealth of travel opportunities. A growing sense of national pride and a desire to support local economies are encouraging more Canadians to explore their own country. The COVID-19 pandemic played a significant role in this shift. Border closures and travel restrictions forced Canadians to look inward for their vacation plans. This led to a rediscovery of domestic destinations and a greater appreciation for the beauty and diversity within Canada's borders. Many Canadians who might have previously opted for a quick trip to a US city instead explored national parks, historical sites, or different provinces, often finding these experiences to be equally rewarding. This trend of domestic exploration is likely to persist even as international travel becomes more accessible. Canadians have realized the benefits of traveling within their own country, including ease of language, familiarity with laws and customs, and the ability to support local businesses. The investment in and promotion of Canadian tourism infrastructure and experiences further strengthens this appeal. 3. The fluctuating exchange rate and economic considerations. The exchange rate between the Canadian and US dollar has always been a factor influencing cross-border travel. A weaker Canadian dollar makes travel to the US more expensive, impacting everything from accommodation and dining to shopping and entertainment. Significant and sustained periods of an unfavorable exchange rate can act as a major deterrent for Canadian travelers, especially families and budget-conscious individuals. When the Canadian dollar weakens, the cost of a US vacation increases substantially. What might have been an affordable getaway can suddenly become a significant financial outlay. This can lead Canadians to either postpone their US travel plans, shorten their trips, or opt for more budget-friendly domestic alternatives. Conversely, a strong Canadian dollar can incentivize travel to the US. However, in recent years, the trend has often been towards a weaker Canadian dollar, making the US a less economically attractive destination for many Canadians. This economic reality, coupled with other factors, can contribute to the decision to stay within Canada or explore other international destinations where the exchange rate might be more favorable. 4. Evolving perceptions of safety and security. As mentioned earlier, perceptions of safety and security play a crucial role in travel decisions. While the vast majority of visits to the US by Canadians are trouble-free, news reports and personal anecdotes about crime, gun violence, and social unrest can create a sense of unease. Events that capture international attention, such as mass shootings or widespread protests, can disproportionately impact the perception of safety in the US among Canadians. Canadians generally come from a society with stricter gun control laws and a lower incidence of violent crime. The contrast can make the US appear to be a riskier travel destination. While specific tourist areas may be relatively safe, the broader narrative surrounding safety in the US can influence the decisions of potential Canadian travelers. Furthermore, concerns about healthcare costs in the US can also be a deterrent. A medical emergency while traveling in the US can result in exorbitant expenses for Canadians, even with travel insurance. The complexities of the American healthcare system and the potential for significant financial risk can make some Canadians wary of traveling south. 5. The rise of alternative international destinations. Canadians are increasingly exploring travel options beyond the traditional North American axis. The availability of more affordable flights and the growing appeal of diverse cultures and experiences are leading Canadians to consider destinations in Europe, Asia, South America, and the Caribbean. These destinations often offer unique cultural immersion, historical sites, and natural beauty that can be just as, if not more, appealing than traditional US destinations. The ease of access to information and booking platforms has also made it simpler for Canadians to plan and execute trips to far-flung locations. Competitive airfares and accommodation options can sometimes make international travel outside of North America surprisingly affordable. Moreover, the desire for new and different experiences is a strong motivator for travel. As Canadians become more globally aware and interconnected, the allure of exploring diverse cultures, cuisines, and landscapes in other parts of the world grows. This naturally leads to a diversion of travel away from the US for some segments of the Canadian population. 6. Border crossing experiences and bureaucratic hurdles. While the US-Canada border is generally considered relatively open, there can still be frustrations and inconveniences associated with crossing. Increased security measures, occasional long wait times, and the potential for scrutiny can be off-putting for some Canadian travelers, especially those planning shorter trips where time is a premium. Furthermore, changes in border policies or enforcement practices, even if minor, can contribute to a sense of uncertainty and make Canadians less inclined to travel to the US. The ease and predictability of travel are important considerations, and any perceived increase in bureaucratic hurdles can influence travel decisions. 7. The growing awareness of environmental impact. Environmental consciousness is on the rise globally, and Canadians are increasingly aware of the carbon footprint associated with air travel. Choosing domestic destinations or those accessible by more sustainable means of transportation can be a deliberate decision for environmentally conscious travelers. Frequent short trips to the US, often involving air travel, can contribute significantly to an individual's carbon footprint. Opting for destinations within Canada that can be reached by car, train, or even by staying closer to home can be a way for Canadians to reduce their environmental impact. 8. The power of cultural identity and distinctiveness. Canada and the United States, while sharing a long border and significant cultural exchange, possess distinct national identities and cultural values. A growing sense of Canadian identity and a desire to celebrate and experience Canadian culture might be leading more Canadians to choose domestic travel options. Canada has a unique cultural mosaic influenced by its Indigenous heritage, French and British colonial history, and diverse waves of immigration. Exploring this rich cultural tapestry within Canada can be a more appealing option for some Canadians who wish to connect with their national identity and heritage. Conclusion. The hypothetical scenario of millions of Canadians backing out of US travel is a complex issue, driven by a confluence of interconnected factors. The shifting political climate and societal values in the US, the growing appeal of domestic tourism, unfavorable exchange rates, evolving perceptions of safety and security, the rise of alternative international destinations, border crossing experiences, increasing environmental awareness, and a strengthening sense of Canadian cultural identity could all contribute to such a significant shift in travel patterns. While the long-standing tradition of cross-border tourism between Canada and the US is deeply ingrained, these evolving dynamics suggest that the future of travel between the two nations may look different. Understanding these underlying reasons is crucial for tourism industries and policymakers in both countries to adapt to potential changes in travel behavior and preferences. The allure of the US for Canadian travelers is undeniable, but these multifaceted reasons indicate a potential re-evaluation of travel priorities for a significant portion of the Canadian population. The coming years will reveal the extent to which these factors reshape the landscape of North American tourism.